This update that I am following online, and it's quite crazy. Every single online platform have actually broken the story, and it's still developing. The BBC has reported, Al Jazeera has reported, and it's also breaking across major outlets online. Let's just tell you what it is. A group of military officers say they have seized control of Guinea-Bissau amidst reports that the president, Umaru Sissoco Embalo, has been arrested. Shortly after gunshots were heard in the capital, Bissau government sources told the BBC that Embalo had been detained. Military officers had appeared on state TV saying they had suspended the electoral process and would be in charge until further notice. The West African nation had been awaiting the outcome of Sunday's presidential election, in which the main opposition candidate had been disqualified from running. The results were expected on Thursday. Both Embalo and his closest rival, Fernando Diaz, have claimed victory. Late on Wednesday afternoon, Embalo told France 24 in a phone call, "I have been deposed." Witnesses in Bissau heard gunfire earlier on at around 13 hours GMT, but it was not immediately clear who was involved in the shooting or if there were any casualties. Hundreds of people on foot and in vehicles fled seeking shelters as the shots rang out, the AFP news agency reported. Later on, General Denis Nkaha, head of the military household at the presidential palace, read out a statement declaring a takeover. He said officers had formed the high military command for the restoration of order and closed the border. Gen Nkaha instructed the population to remain calm. In addition, to Embalo, the president's army staff and a number of ministers have reportedly been arrested. Guinea-Bissau, one of the poorest countries in the world, has seen 9 coups or attempted coups since 1980. Embalo has said he has survived multiple coup attempts during his time in office. However, his critics allege he has fabricated crisis in order to crack down on dissent. Guinea-Bissau has a population of just under 2 million people and has been called a narco state by the UN due to its role as a key transit point in trafficking cocaine from Latin America to Europe. Crazy, 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 crazy. Um, I really don't know. I really don't know how much of this threat of military on the African sub-region, especially West Africa, would basically have all of these going on. I really don't know how long more would this threat of military takeover in West Africa really stop. We've seen that play out in 4 countries on the West African region, and I'm beginning to get really scared about the development as a Nigerian. I went online and I checked what's going on online, and it's shocking how Nigerians are reacting to this development. Some people are calling for a takeover by the military in Nigeria, and I'm wondering why. On what basis would you be thinking in that direction? We came out from a military dictatorship in 1999, and ever since, even though we haven't had our democracy well knitted, well structured, at least for the shortest period of time, but I mean, somebody once said that the worst form of democracy is better than military regime, because military regime, you are not able to say, there are certain things you cannot say. There are certain things you are not allowed to say. In fact, your freedom of expression is tamed, is limited. So asking for a military takeover in Nigeria because of what's going on around the West African sub-region, it's taking it too far. But again, if you look at the reasons why this has happened, it's because of the disputed elections. The two candidates, the incumbent and the opposition, have declared themselves winner in that election, and because of the fact that both of them declared themselves winner of that election, military found a way of taking over. Since both of you are not accepting, then they needed to keep the order, and that's the reason why they have since taking over the government, and going forward, the military is going to continue ruling. Let me just take some of the reactions that I am trailing it for you, especially from Nigeria. Okay, just to give you a little bit of an update, Guinea-Bissau's military says it has taken full control of the country after detaining President Umaru Sissoco Embalo. This is from BBC Africa's Instagram page. Detaining President Umaru Sissoco Embalo, the officers say they have suspended the electoral process and closed all borders indefinitely. It is still unclear whether anyone else was detained along with the president. This person says, I love this script. This story is not clear, this person says. This one says, beautiful country, bad politicians, still the same. This other one says, this is not true. Sissoko himself invented coup d'etat so that he can prevent the future president to take over power. This one says, so the president arrested himself? You don't need so much knowledge to understand what's going on. I hope one day Guinea-Bissau will be free. This one also added another manufactured crisis in Guinea-Bissau, staged again by Sissoko Embalo, blocking the newly elected president from assuming power. The will of the people must be respected. Democracy cannot survive if election results are ignored. That's the latest regarding that from the BBC. There is indeed another update I actually wanted to share with you. Okay, so some of the reactions that I'm actually gathering for you. This one says, "Now so it's supposed to be. We will get there someday." Nigeria military is defending APC. This one says next is Cameroon. Nigeria is next, inshallah. And some persons are saying this is so wrong. Don't ever call on military to take over Nigeria because this is so wrong. I mean, there are differences between the issues happening in Nigeria and the one happening in Guinea-Bissau. This other one says, okay, so there's a lot that's just here. And Nigerian military still they sleep. Whilst our military, they allow federal government, they use them as baits. This one says Nigeria own go happen soon. Rubbish. Outside world is gradually reclaiming Africa, and y'all are praising it. Democracy is always the lesser of two evils. Our military are busy making peace with terrorists and granting pardon to them. God, I see the way you take the answer the prayers of other African countries. Please answer our own prayers. Our military are busy babysitting bigger boys. Okay. This one says our military is busy sacrificing our own soldiers for politicians. Nigerian military is negotiating with bandits and guiding politicians. All those are francophone countries. Congratulations to them. I know pray make it happen for Nigeria because military will be saying Boko Haram they control. Them could just use the opportunity to turn the country to Afghanistan. Okay. So these are some of the reactions from from Nigerians who are also not happy with what's going on in the country. Let me just show you some pictures. Here are some pictures from the Guinea-Bissau earlier today, so you could have yourself a glimpse of what exactly is happening in Guinea-Bissau, just to give you an update on what's happening over there. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you as always.